Hi folks, it's Evil here from Thundermist Lure Company, and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. It's early spring, and what a great time to start fishing for catfish. And I've got myself a nice sucker here that I'm going to cut up. We're going to use some cut bait today. So I'm going to cut myself off a small piece to get started. There we go. I've got one of the pre-tied T-turn bait rigs here for catfish. These are really great because they come totally pre-rigged, and all you've got to do is tie one on, snap on a sinker, and you're good to go. And the hook they come with is a very strong 5/0 octopus hook or circle hook, but today I'm using the octopus hook. Very strong hook, and we're looking for big channel cats today. So let's get it out there. Okay. And now all we're gonna do, folks, is sit and wait. It's not fresh cut bait. It's early spring, so I have to use some frozen bait that I had in the freezer, but that's okay. We're gonna put the line down, let it sit, attract those catfish. It's a patient, it's a wait, it's a waiting game early in the spring. I'm gonna put my rod down. We're gonna get ready, and hopefully, folks, we're gonna get into some fish, so stay tuned. So glad you can join me. Okay, there was a first hit, but it feels like a small fish. It's either it's a bullhead. Okay, that's a nice sized bullhead, actually. We took that cut bait. It's not what we're looking for today, but it's a start. Hey, decent sized bullhead right there. We'll get him back in. It looks like my bait is still perfectly fine. Okay, so it hasn't been out there that long, so it's still fairly fresh. Maybe I'll just poke it through one more time. There we go, we'll get it right back out there again. I think we got ourselves another bullhead, folks. He gave me a really good bite, but he doesn't feel very big. In fact, that's what it is, another bullhead. Okay, well, we know the bullhead are biting. All we need now are the channel cat to pick it up a notch. I'm gonna take this guy off. Back in the water he goes, and I'm gonna freshen up with another bait. Well, you freshen up the bait, you put it back in again, and it looks like today we're going to be catching bullheads. So far, no channel cats, but the bullhead bite is on. There's another decent bullhead. He's got himself wrapped up there a bit. There we go. Well, the bullhead are definitely active today. We do have a bit of a cold front here. Oh boy, that's a good hook set right in the side of the mouth. I mean, they're all decent sized bullhead. Okay, and I need to freshen that bait up again. There was a good bite, and he's just swimming away with it. Oh, it feels like a good fish. Decent anyhow. When you pull back, I've been getting bullheads this morning, and finally set the hook into a channel. I could tell because it's much heavier. And you know, I'm telling you, our boatless angler couldn't be with us today, but he did want me to share a tip with you, and that is when you're fishing for these early spring channel cats, scale down on the bait size. You might have noticed that bait that I put on this morning when I cut into that sucker was just a small piece of bait. And these fish are not really aggressively feeding, and they're a little sluggish. They come off the winter and they're just starting to feed, so those smaller baits are just a little more attractive. And I think I got myself a decent channel cat anyhow. Not a real huge one, I don't think. Okay. See if I can get him in here. Actually, oh, it's a decent sized one. He's strong. Oh yeah, that's actually a nice sized channel. Oh, let's see if I can land this guy. Okay, there we go. There's a start to our day right there. There's a nice channel cat. Oh, yeah, and that hook, and you can see my bait. What's left of it there, just a small piece of bait. That's all that's left. And that hook just comes out nicely. There we go. There's a beautiful beautiful channel cat right there. Gorgeous fish. Okay. And of course I did bring a weigh scale with me today, but no batteries, so we'll just have to take a guess on that one. But that's a decent sized fish. Okay. Let's get him right back in. Away he goes. Swimming close to shore. Okay, and he's a goner. Now I want to show you this sucker that I'm using. I've been getting a lot of bites this morning, but mainly bullheads. You can see how much bait I've gone through already. But I'm going to cut myself up another piece here. And again, as Antonio said, I'm going to make it just a small piece. So that's it right there. That's going to be what I'm going to put on. Just a nice little piece just like that. I sure hope that these bullheads don't eat all of our cut bait before we run out of bait. They seem to be really aggressive today, the bullheads, that's for sure. And actually, they're decent size. It's a nice sized bullhead there. All right. Let's get him back in the water again. Look, he's got a bit of a black eye there. Different, that's for sure. Some sort of a mark there on his eye. But he's no worse for wear. Let's freshen up that bait and get right back out there again. So as you can see, folks, I'm all set up here again with that nice little piece of bait. It looks like we might have to weed through these bullhead to get to the channel cat, but that's okay. Spring fishing, small baits, folks. As the summer gets on, you could get into some bigger baits, but in the early spring, looks like the small cut bait is the ticket. I want to thank you ever so much for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. Oh, there's a, like I said, I think we're going to have to weed through these bullheads to get to the channel cats. But that's okay, I got the whole day ahead of me.